This is lesson 2.5 being worked out with you, for you, however you want to view that, just to help you on your homework. This is new because we have a division here, but it's still pretty much the same. The values with H are 9 and 35. Again, I'm using tab to kind of move that. The value that should be moved first, again, is the weaker. You have addition, you have division. Addition is weaker, so 35 should be going first. The way you move a plus 35 is by subtracting it. The value that should be moved second is the 9. And the way you move that is by, because that is being, tricky here. That is H divided by 9, so if I was going to move that, I would need to multiply. Again, that's where the game starts to get kind of crazy, because you start getting a whole bunch of decisions, and you've got to be careful to choose the right one. The values with F, as far as I know, are 12 and 41. Again, 12 and 41 are over here with F. I don't care about this number. The value that should be moved first is the weaker of the two, which is 41. That is plus 41, so I will subtract. The value that should be moved second is 12. That is F divided by 12, so if I want to move it, I should do the opposite, which would be multiplication. The values with T are 9, and don't forget you have to respect the sign, negative 11. The value that should be moved first is this negative 11. If that is minus 11, it means the opposite would be addition. The value that should be moved second is this 9. If that's T divided by 9, the opposite would be multiplication. Again, in order to move that value, you must use the opposite operation. That's the part that we have to start getting used to. The values with U are 3 and negative 19. The value that has to be moved first is the weaker of the two, which is your negative 19. And that would be done by using addition. The value that needs to move second is the 3. And that is U divided by 3, which would be multiplication. The values with X are 6 and negative 20. The value that needs to be moved first here is the negative 20 because it is weaker. Again, since that is minus 20, we want to add. The value that needs to be moved second is the 6. That 6 is X divided by 6, so we need to use multiplication to move it. The values with A are again 13 and 42. The first value that needs to be moved is the 42. How do I move this plus 42? Is by subtracting. Once I move that 42 by subtracting, I would have to move the 13. And again, that's A divided by 13, which means that I would multiply. Again, opposite of division is multiplication to move that number. Now we get to the real work. Again, the values with P are 6 and 7. The first value that should be moved to me should be the 7 because that's being added. The second value should be the 6. So let's execute that plan and see how it works. If I want to move this 7, which is being added, I want to do minus 7 and minus 7. Remember that this goes away and I have P over 6, so I will hit this fraction button and put P arrow down 6. 23 minus 7 is 16. I now need to get rid of the 6, so in order to get rid of P divided by 6, I must multiply. Remember, we put that in parentheses. The 6's go away, P is there, that is 36, 96? Again, if you have any issues, use the calculator here. I will show that for you once per video as long as I remember, but that should be the answer that we are looking for. C over 4 minus 3, the values with C are 4, and remember that is a negative 3. The first value that should be moved is the negative 3. The second value that should be moved is the 4. So following this plan, in order to move this negative 3, I will add 3 to both sides. That's gone. C over 4. Now there's another way to do it, which is to hit the slash, which is right above the question mark. So I'm going to type that here. C slash 4 actually makes a fraction for you. And then 17 plus 3 turns into 20. If I want to get rid of this 4, I must multiply. So I will do parentheses 4, which means times 4, parentheses 4, which means times 4. The 4's go away, leaving me with C over here, and 20 times 4 makes 80. The values with G here are 5 and -6. The value that should be moved first is the -6. The value that should be moved second is the 5. If I want to get rid of this -6, which is what I should be doing first, it is -6, so I must use +6 here, +6 there. And again, I'm going to do G slash, which is right by the shift key and the question mark, 5, because that makes a fraction for me. 8 and 6 makes 14. Again, these two things have to work together to make that answer. I now need to get rid of the 5, so I will multiply both sides by 5 by putting parentheses 5 and parentheses 5. The 5's go away. G comes down. 14 times 5 would be 2 plus 5 makes 70. Should be your answer there. The values with D are 13 and 39. The first value to move should be 39. The second value to move should be the 13. Again, this is weaker, this is stronger. So when we go to move this 39, we need to move it by using the opposite, which would be -39 here and here. That means D slash 13 comes down on this side, because remember, that doesn't change. 62 minus 39, I believe, is 20s. Am I off? I think I am off. Oh no, it is. It's 23. I was thinking I had to divide. That makes 3 more of those. I think so. We'll see what happens. If I want to get rid of this 13, again, I would multiply by 13 by putting it in parentheses. Multiply by 13 by putting it in parentheses. The D comes down. 23 times 13, I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry, I'm not that good. I do think it's 23 though. Let's see if 299 is the answer. If not, we probably have to find our error. It was 23, so we got it. Again, key thing is just making sure you've got the process down. Once you get the process down, everything else is easy. The values with Z are 8 and 44. The first value to move should be the weaker of the two, which is 44. The second value to move should be the stronger of the two, which is the 8. If I want to move a plus 44, I should put minus 44 on both sides. Remember, if that goes away, this whole term comes down. So Z over 8 would come down over here. 66 minus 44 is 22. I now need to move this 8 away. In order to move that 8, because it's being divided, I need to multiply by 8. Those 8's go away, leaving me with just Z. 22 times 8 is 16, carry the 1, 176 maybe. The values with N are 8 and -16. The value that should be moved first should be over here, which is your -16. The value that should be moved second is this 8. If I want to move this 16, which is subtracted, I should add 16 to both sides. Remember, those two things go away, leaving me with N over 8, so I'm going to do N slash 8, tab to move. 5 plus 16, I believe, is 21. If I now want to move this 8, it's being divided, so I will do times 8 times 8. The 8's go away. 21 times 8, I believe, is 168. Where am I at? There we go. The value with F here is 85. We cannot forget our one-step equations because those are on your test. If I want to move the 85, that is plus 85, so I need to do minus 85, minus 85. Remember, that goes away, and not kindly enough, we just have an F. I didn't put a minus. And I think that's 95 if I'm right. But again, use that calculator if necessary. Who's with J here would be -31. If I want to move this -31, we put plus 31 here and plus 31 there. 30 plus 31 makes 61. And those go away, leaving us with just J. The value with M here is 14. Remember, if I want to move this 14, it's 14 times M, so I must divide by 14 here and here. Those 14s go away with m. 112 divided by 14, I believe, is 8. I don't know. There we go. And 16, the value with b is 13. If I want to move this 13 as b divided by 13, I want to multiply. Remember, the way we show multiplication is with parentheses. And 13 times 13 is 169, I believe. And there we go. And that would be the end of chapter 2.5. If you understood 2.4 and 2.5, that's good, because 2.6 is just taking the questions that we had here and putting this on that side and the 57 on this side. So you should be good. But if you have any questions, just feel free to email me and let me know.